I will.
Okay, so I'm start with the research to do the plants. These are my favorite books. This brand, the expert books, that's my favorite. But also, I grow a lot of plants that I make, especially hydrangeas and stuff like that. I go to garden centers, take pictures at Lowe's. Nobody ever stopped me or anything, so I take pictures of all the plants and all that. And we have a nice other garden center, individually owned garden center. I go to the garden centers and do my research, and then I try to simple like making clay or crepe plant. I just a little base. These are for different stuff. This is just with blocks out different the deciduous the blue one. Look at the and these either the spray ones like black.
Okay.
I know Mark, you have things. Yes, so this is required for more money. Is questions?
Review this other kind of an odd shape. Okay. Hard to find. So this in both of and you and the process project but this will be for filling in the gaps if you need to, and it's I don't necessarily recommend using plaster all the time if you're doing a bigger project because of weight. It is, I mean, this is pretty heavy in terms of what I'm used to using. This thing is extremely light, and it's made with that pink foam, construction foam that I really love using. So if I added a lot of the plaster, it's going to make it heavier. If you don't care, doesn't matter. So that's all I have for demonstrating.
I have one tip about using plaster of Paris. My ex was doing a railroad layout, and he washed everything in the sink, and we ended up having to call a plumber because it plugged it up.
You're right.
Put it down your drain.
Right. I do not do that. I have a second bowl just for drips. And so I try to keep the bowl that I actually have a lot of water.
Okay.
Anyone else with trees or tree?
Deciduous.
Trees.
Deciduous. We got to save our other for our other one.
Me. Me.
Barbara.
Me too.
Okay, I have to figure out, can you spotlight me and I'll see if this is gonna work. Every time I use this thing, I forget. I have to share. Oh, first I have to share my screen. Wait a minute. Okay. I'm going to show you a couple things I made. This is an Andina bush, also known as heavenly bamboo. There's a lot of varieties, but I found this one on. Remember how to do this. This is with my camera. Anybody know? Ugh. Let me delete everything else here so I can see what I'm doing. I've done this before, but I can't remember how. Okay, am I spotlighted? No,
Yes.
my screen. Okay. Oh, here it is. Okay.
No, she's not spotlighted because it's
Ah,
jumping back and forth.
there. Okay. But I have to get it to the right place where I can focus it. All right. This is a little scene. I did this. Well, here, let me put this way back. You see this? This is 4 seasons of landscaping. We did this in a class in 1992. So I'm going to show you first. This is the spring one. But you see this tree over on this side? That is done with Nandina and landscape foam. And what we did, what we learned to do, and first of all, I think I painted it because sometimes the Nandina are too gray and I wanted it more brown, but, and then this is what I learned to do. You hold it at the trunk and stick it down in a paper bag and spray it all with spray-on glue. And then you put it in a different bag and sprinkle sprinkle the landscape foam on it, and it sticks. It's pretty cool to do, and you do it in paper bags so that you don't have stuff everywhere in your room. But anyway, that, and then I just kind of picked it off and put it where I wanted it on that little tree.
Now, is that a 1 inch or quarter
No,
inch?
this is 1/4 inch, but you can do it in 1 inch.
Yeah, because I have an Andina in my front yard and I've used the trees, but they were big enough for, they fit 1 inch
Oh.
better than quarter inch, so.
Well, I don't know. I used this in the 1/4 inch, and then this little one in the back, that little one with the pink foam on it, that's another little tiny Nandina branch. So you just have to cut them up. You can cut a great big branch.
Yeah, it does.
And then, oh, hold on a minute. That was that. This is another one we did in 1990. It's been a while. So I'm gonna go down for this one. This tree, and I think I can't remember exactly how I made the base of this tree. I think I did theirs, and then I put some plaster or putty over it and smoothed it out and painted it. And then several, you can see there's a few main branches coming off, and I started gluing Nandina all over it. And at the top of this, all Nandina branches. And then I put that in my paper bag, sprayed it, and put, well, some of this is that landscape foam that's on, it's on a web, you know, kind of, that, you know, it's all stuck together on a web, and I kind of wrapped around, and then I sprinkled it, then I sprayed it with that for 30 years. And I know it's going in and out of focus. But it's a way to make a tree. You can do it in 1 inch, but you use a lot more stuff. Anyway, that's my tree, you know. And I've done it all with colors of foam, and I've done it with and just sprayed it with great tree, please.
In other words, I'm not great with names, but I know her when I see her. I bought this at the show, I think that was in Seattle.
Yeah, I'd like to say
Seattle or
mine
Portland, I'm
too,
not
but
sure which.
it's pretty big to ship. You'd have to pick it up, but
Oh, I did have it shipped, and they did a good job on the outside. Some stuff shook around on the inside, but it got here in very good shape.
oh, is it UPS or something?
I believe it was FedEx.
Oh, okay.
I have had something else shipped. Oh, like it's like a dance studio, and just about everything in the dance studio was shaken apart. And they use those those foam bricks that I don't know, they stick it in and it sort of kind of takes the shape of the outside of
yeah,
the
they
object.
blow
But
it in.
it tore up the dance studio part of the roof. It was
Everybody's in-
Run over it or whatever, so to get those all covered and everything, but it's all wired inside.
Hmm.
Wow.
I have a tree, Marcia.
Good.
I just used the wire framing and then covered it with florist tape and then painted it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And with the
Would you
florist
use-
tape, it's still very bendable.
Yeah,
You glued the leaves on?
Yep. Yep, and there's some down below on the ground also.
the rest of them.
So, yeah.
Yeah, from what I understand, the wire armature works really good. And then whatever you desire to cover it with, and it can be floral tape, it can be tissue paper, it can be anything that will adhere to that wire, and then covered with something or not, like Preble did.
Mhm.
Yeah, Shirley, what scale is that tree?
1 inch.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
it's
right.
about 10 inches high.
How much?
It's loud.
Question about eating.
Specific amount of thousands particular light. But don't buy Duracell. They have a class action suit against them right now. It's been going on for a long time. I bought a Duracell about a year ago at Costco that was leaking on the shelf. Just to give you an idea that they don't last very long. Those batteries, the AAA, AA batteries are made with single individual cells that are combined and then wrapped. I don't recommend anybody try to take one apart.
No. Okay.
Okay. I go to a battery store here in town. Generally speaking, I stay away from Duracell. I try to stay away from the cheaper batteries at, let me get my batteries.
Hobby
Oh,
Lobby.
how cute.
Cool.
Hey. Hobby Lobby.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, Conifer.
Okay.
Hobby Lobby.
Yep, I got some on sale too.
Right.
Deciduous.
I got that one. That back exactly. Yeah.
Other
Are
trees.
they 1
tree
inch?
challenge, okay?
No,
Jackie, are
they're,
they 1 inch trees?
Of course not.
those are quarter scale trees.
It's her
Oh,
quarter scale.
okay.
Have you ever seen me show you anything? One
Well, you can't tell on this what's
No,
on.
anyway,
That's for sure.
I just thought that I should get mine and show them since I'm not a tree maker.
Oh, me.
My
Did
tree
did you say Hobby Lobby?
Hobby Lobby has them, but you know what? I said Hobby Lobby, but I got that at Michael's recently because it's got a $7 sticker in it and it was $11.49.
Yeah.
So I got it on sale. And the same thing was true of this one.
Right.
And what I like, it tells you what it is. It's a Deciduous Trees.
Hardwood.
Cherry trees.
Now, Lucy, do you keep your batteries in the refrigerator or that?
No, that's a wives' tale.
Oh, okay.
Basically, you want to keep your batteries at room temperature. A's, double A's, which are the most frequent. When you package them, pack all of the positive ends one direction, negative ends the other direction. So you're not running two of them together, because when you put two of them together, you're increasing the voltage that's available.
Well, got any tips on storing the round ones?
Hmm?
The little round ones?
The coins.
Oh,
Batteries?
you mean the coin cell ones?
Yeah.
Yes, coin cells.
When I have to pop a bunch of them loose from their package, because I've ordered them like 500 at a time, I tape them to a board with the positive side facing up. You can do it with the negative facing up. Just be consistent.
Okay.
And then I put tape over the top so that they don't go wandering and touching each other. If I wanted to impress you, all I would have to do is take a SOS pad and run across the top of that 9 volts. Because direct current comes from transformers too. Any other questions? I just received 10 of the micro LED lights. These are smaller than the Picos.
Oh, geez.
10 of them together are smaller than a match head.
Hmm.
They're the
You can
tiny,
see those.
tiniest little bitty things. Those have got to be made with a machine. No human with standard vision can put one of those babies together.
Yeah.
Because
What
they
was
all have wires, 2 wires, one on each side that's soldered on each side of the diode, the positive and the negative, and that's got to be done by a machine. There's just no way that a human can do that.
What size were those?
I call them micro.
Because on the never was, there was something they had was Z.
That's about right. Z is the tiniest train scale,
No, yeah.
I think.
Yes. Yes. You're right.
Oh,
I would probably, what?
there was that someone had something in the chat, but I gotta see.
It's
But
portion.
I would say that these lights would, when you get
preserving that by glycerinizing it instead of drying it so that you keep the flexibility.
I think what the people here, what this is too, is possibly of critters, of what you do to prevent critters from crawling out.
Oh, you purify them in a microwave.
When I used some branches from my yard and I didn't want critters in them, I just put them in a big plastic garbage bag and sprayed and left them in there for a while, like a couple days.
Well,
But I mean,
most
I sprayed them good.
Yeah, most anything that would be an egg, if you put it in the freezer for several days and then you pull it back out and put it back in the freezer, you know, that's going to get rid of any kind of a weevil egg or anything like that that might be under the bark.
What-
But we're talking miniatures so small that unless that plant is super stressed, you're not going to have trouble with critters, because you're not using old woody material that's large.
But yeah, you can bake it in the oven too at low, like 250 or something like that.
Yeah, as low as you can get it.
Yeah.
There's an alternative to baking. I had some grapevine stuff.
My
Quit. Sorry, my dogs are playing. I'm gonna say goodnight, ladies.
Anyway, I put